Okay, am I audible, Yamini ji? Yeah. So coming to this week current affairs, of course, many of the current affairs have been covered by RAMESHWAR'S sir. Okay, so he left very few for me, and I hope sir has not discussed dollarization. See, what is dollarization? Dollarization is nothing but they will put aside the indigenous currency or country's currency, and they will use dollars for their economic activities. Generally, these sort of things are made in the countries which are having high inflation, or their currency is not stable. Their currency is not stable and also high inflation. That is called as the dollarization. When you come to the de-dollarization, so just removing the dollars as the legal tender. You have to remember, legal tender is very important. Making dollar as the legal tender is called as dollarization. What is legal tender? Suppose a student gives me 500 rupees, okay, by purchasing a book. I cannot refuse that 500 rupees. I may ask him change, or it is other thing. If I refuse, it will attract a penal action. That is the meaning of the legal tender. You cannot reject the currency. Of course, there are two terms: limited legal tender and unlimited legal tender. Limited legal tender means, earlier we had 25 paise and 50 paise in circulation. Now, 1 rupee is the minimum denomination. Suppose if Asma Jabin wanted to pay me the fees once again to join for UPSC, and she wanted to pay me 1.5 lakh rupees. If she gets 25 NPs, all 25 NP with a value of 1.5 lakh to take revenge on me, then I may not accept, because it is a limited legal tender. So remember, limited legal tender and unlimited legal tender. But beyond that, if she gets even 1 rupee, 2 rupee notes also, I have to accept. So remember this sort of few things as far as the currency is concerned. Okay, of course, we will discuss many things here. Now, Javier Milei, the recent winner of Argentina's president's election, has drawn attention for his plan to replace the country's currency, peso, with the dollar. Earlier, Zimbabwe also did the same. If they want to purchase a uh, bun or bread, they were forced to carry a huge bag of their local currency. It, what is dollarization? Dollarization is the process by which a country decides to use two currencies. Yes, their local currency and also dollars. But sometimes the local currency will also be put to an end. Then dollar will become their official colors. Official currency. Sometimes local and also dollar. Sometimes only dollar. Then their official currency will be dollar. Now take the example of India's official currency. That is the rupee, rupiah. Of course, even we will accept dollars, but it is not a legal tender. If somebody wants to pay me the fees in the dollars, no need to accept that. It is not a legal tender in our country. That is very important. It is a process by which a country decides to use two currencies, the local currency and generally a stronger, more established currency like the US dollar. And it is internationally accepted. Yes. It occurs in developing countries with a weak central monetary authority or an unstable economic environment. Unstable economic environment means mismatch between demand and supply. So, one time you will have more demand and less supply, and vice versa. Like the, uh, what we call price fluctuations. So, just 3 months ago, tomato was 300 rupees per kg. Now it is 30 rupees per kg. So, if everything goes in the same manner, then the business will get stalled, because nobody will purchase. They will wait. Again, it will come down to 10 rupees or 20 rupees. So stable economy is needed. And when you come to India, though India is having the mixed economy, mixed economy. I told you India is having controlled mixed economy. That is very important. Controlled mixed economy. Indian economy is controlled by government with the help of various agencies like RBI, and RBI is the authority to give the monetary policy. The aim of monetary policy is to control the inflation and to have a stable economic growth. And there is it is given by Monetary Policy Committee, which consists of 6 members, if I am not wrong, 3 members from the government side and 3 members from the RBI. So see, in India, you are having a good monetary policy, and even take the example of America. They are having their own, monetary agency, that is their central bank, which is none other than the federal bank, Fed. Okay, yes. So when there is no good monetary agency, the economy may not be favorable. It usually happens when a country's currency becomes unstable or loses its value. Yes. Nobody will accept. Like we have discussed in the history, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, when he introduced the bronze currency and copper currency, in the place of silver, because in that period, there was acute shortage of silver. So what happened? In course of time, every person started minting the copper and bronze coins, and they lost their value. When the local currency, loses its value, total business will collapse. Okay? Yes. Or loses its value due to high inflation or other economic problems. So, of course, just now I quoted the example of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe ran a dollarization test to see if the adoption of foreign currency could reduce high inflation and stabilize its economy. Of course, there are 4 types of dollarization that countries can adopt. Complete dollarization. Just now I told you, now dollar will become the legal tender of the country. Like India, Indian rupee is the legal tender. Partial dollarization, both will exist simultaneously. It implies that foreign and local currencies are accepted. Official dollarization. So the country's government and monetary authorities like RBI in India accepted a foreign currency as its legal tendency. Unofficial. So government has not taken action in that line, but common people will accept dollars for their daily transactions. Unofficial dollarization. It occurs when the people in the country have their savings in foreign currency in the form of investment instrument or in the circulation also. So, what is the aim of the dollarization? Economic, stability, especially to lower the inflation. And if there is high inflation, it will pose a challenge to the economy because the people cannot survive, and even they have to spend more for their essential. Rather than discretionary spending. Now, take the example of last month automobile sales in India, abnormal sales. Why? Because in India, inflation is under control and every person was able to save the money, or they are in a capacity to pay the EMIs. So they are taking the vehicles on EMI. So it is how the economy will expand and promote investment. Yes, foreigners will invest, and even if their currency is dollar and if their currency is stable, even it will also encourage the trade and foreign debt investments. That foreigners will invest in that country, and cost effective. See, actually, what happens when you come to the dollars, you will get the loans at a lesser interest rate. Now, take the example of big companies in India. They will go to foreign countries for their financial assistance. Of course, now even in their countries also, the rate, ROI is more, but still, South Bank of Japan will lend at a lesser rate of interest rate. Now, fully dollarized economies, Ecuador, Panama, and El Salvador have had successful economic outcomes following dollarization. Ecuador model of dollarization, price stability, it helped the country to reduce inflation, which was over 100% in 2000 to around 4% in the following years. You know how inflation is calculated? Prices in this month compared to the prices in the same month in the previous year. It is how inflation is calculated. Yes. Lower interest rate. Of course, just now I told you, ma- when you are having dollars in circulation, automatically you can take loan from the foreign countries. You will get at a, I mean, lesser rate of interest. And fiscal discipline by the governments. Actually, what happens? Suppose if a government is facing financial crunch, what they will do? They will simply mint the money. And if government simply go on minting the money, it will boost the economy. Sorry, it will boost the inflation. Though it will boost the economy, but inflation will be abnormal. So here, if you use a dollar, automatically they will have the fiscal, discipline. Like in India, to attain the fiscal discipline, or to see that the successive governments will follow some sort of norms in getting loan from the foreign institutions or indigenous institution. Even we are also having a fiscal discipline. That fiscal discipline is in which form? That fiscal discipline is in which form? MRCP Act. What happened to you? I am talking about the fiscal discipline im- imposed on the government. Yes, excellent. FRBM. FRBM Act, as far as governments are concerned, both central and state government, and even you are having the, Basel norms. Basel norms also made some sort of convention with regard to banks or financial system. They have to maintain the proper capital adequacy ratio. Of course, we will discuss that in the banking capital adequacy ratio. Okay. Yes, it is FRBM Act, which was formulated in 2003, if I am not wrong. Okay. Yes. Now, what are the issues of dollarization? Monetary autonomy. It can reduce the country's monetary autonomy. Now, take the example of India. So we are having our own monetary policy. So if we also follow dollar, so you cannot control the circulation of the dollar. Now, RBI, with the help of cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio, open market operations, and repos, and even reverse repos. Uh, by using that, they can control the economy. Suppose if you are using dollars, we cannot control that. That is the problem. And what is the meaning of signorage? SEIGNIORAGE. Signorage. What is meant by signorage? See, take the example of RBI. They will print the currency. They will print the currency and they will allow for the circulation. Of course, that currency is guaranteed by Government of India. So in doing so, they will get some profit. In doing so, they will get some profit. That is called as the signorage. Remember this word, signorage. Okay? Yes. It can lose the revenue generated by issuing currency. What is signorage? Signorage is a term that refers to the profit that a government or a central bank makes by issuing money. Now take the example of 500 rupees note, 200 rupee notes, and 100 rupee notes. Almost all their size is almost all same, but only the denomination is different. Definitely, RBI will earn the money, or our governments will earn the money. That is called as a signorage. Signorage is a term that refers to the profit that a government or a central bank makes by issuing money. And if you use the dollar, our identity will not be there. The country will lose its identity. And external factors. If anything happens in the international scenario, automatically we have to face the threat. No doubt. See, in course of Russia-Ukraine war, crude increased like anything. So India, India's economy hit a lot. Then what happened? India negotiated with the Russia to get the crude oil at a cheaper rate and also in the Indian rupee, if I am not wrong. They got the crude oil at a cheaper rate. Now, luckily, the crude is decreasing, but maybe night it seems that the crude once again has increased maybe 2 or 3%. Of course, it is far beyond the $80 per barrel. Okay. Yes. Now, uh, of course, this is with regard to the dollarization and its consequences. And what is de-dollarization? Setting aside the dollar as their currency. It is the process of reducing the reliance on the US dollar as a reserve currency, a medium of exchange, or a unit of account in the global economy. Okay, so they will not use dollars, or they will not keep the dollar as their reserve. But take the example of India. We will maintain the foreign reserves. These foreign reserves also include the gold, because you should have a currency which should be accepted by international community, because we are the net importers, because we are having the trade deficit. We are having trade deficit. Our imports are more than the exports, and even daily you need the foreign currency. So we will have the reserves. And you know why PV Narasimha Rao reserved for the LPG policies? Because in that period we faced huge crunch of the foreign currency. The main reason was the for this LPG policies is the huge crunch for the foreign reserves. Okay, yes. Of course, governor's role as chancellor, if I am not wrong, Sir dealt this topic in the morning. And remember this judgment in 1981, judgment in Haridwar Ilal Rohtak versus GD Tapase. The High Court had held that the governor was the ex officio chancellor of the university, and by virtue of his office, see, chancellor of the state universities, that is very important, not central universities. Governor of the state universities. And here, in that position, he is having the right to appoint vice chancellor for various state universities. And here, the issue is the governor of a state is not obliged to follow the decision of the Council of Ministers. That is the issue here. Now, you know, the governor discharges his function with the aid and advice of Council of Ministers. But in this case, there is no need of aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. It was the word given. Of course, morning, Sir has taken this concept. Now, when you come to the World Malaria Report 2020, whole world, leaving India, the number of malaria cases are increasing, but as far as India is concerned, they are getting reduced, and even they linked, malaria for the climate change. Because of climate change also, this impact is increasing, or many people are prone to this disease. According to World Malaria Report 2020, malaria cases continue to dip in India while it is increasing globally. Of course, it is published by World Health Organization. Okay. And 2023, for the first time, it includes a dedicated chapter focused on the intersection between climate change and malaria. Yes. So climate change is having adverse effect on the mankind. Of course, not only mankind, on our every aspect, no doubt in it, like global warming. Okay. Key findings. Globally, there were 249 million cases in 2020, 5 million more than in 2021. Globally, the malaria deaths were higher than in 2019, but the malaria mortality rate decreases. That is, death per lakh population at risk continuously, and is now at 14.3 in 2022. This year alone, 3 more countries were certified by WHO as malaria-free: Azerbaijan, Belize, and Tajikistan. India, there were around 33 lakh malaria cases and 5,000 deaths in India. Last year, a decrease of 30% and 34% respectively compared with 2021. So, in India, the cases have decreased, but it is not the malaria free country. Now, as far as these countries, Azerbaijan, they were declared as the malaria free countries. Now, threat: climate change, conflict, and humanitarian crisis. Even if a person is not getting the food properly, even if a person is malnourished, automatically our immunity will become weak, and you will be prone to the disease. Yes, body immunity is very important. So if a country is poor, and if all the people are living under malnourishment, so definitely they will have the less immunity. Of course, they will face this kind of challenges. Threats, climate change, conflict and humanitarian crisis, resource constraint and biological challenges such as drug and insecticide resistance also continue to hamper progress. No doubt, even if in the what you eat, if there are more chemical residues also, we will face such kind of disease. Like in the Eluru, people faced many issues with regard to the consumption of heavy toxic food like milk containing chemicals and also other foods. So nowadays, organic is becoming more and more famous, but only that print will be organic, inside will be inorganic. That has become common. Yes. Nexus between climate change and malaria. Changes in temperature, humidity, and rainfall can influence the behavior and survival of the malaria carrying Anopheles mosquito. Of course, these kind of things we have discussed in our childhood days, and even your science teachers will teach that. Okay? Yes. Yeah. Of course, Iotas Panditar. Sorry if I am spelling it in a wrong manner. A popular person from Tamil Nadu, and who is the pioneer of the backward class movement, and even he was the pioneer of the Dravida movement. And the Tamil Nadu government has installed a statue of Dalit rights and anti-caste activists Ayotitas Panditar in Chennai. It will be unveiled at Gandhi Mandapam on December 1, 2023. Yes, yesterday. He was a prominent Tamil anti-caste activist and practitioner of Siddha medicine. So Siddha is, I'm nothing but a type of naturopathy, Siddha medicine. It is one of the part of the Ayush. You are having the Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, homeopathy. Okay? Yes. And he organized the tribal people in the Nilgiris in 1870s and then started Adi Vaindana Sabha in 1876. And he also fought against untouchability. He founded Panchamar Mahajana Sabha in 1891. Who are Panchamas? Panchama is a other Varna which is not under the Chaturvarna system. You are having Chaturvarna system, Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras. And when you come to the Panchamas, generally they are called as the Chandalas or Panchamas. These Panchamas are not mentioned in the Varna system. You are having only Chaturvarna system. Okay? Yes. Panchamar people who, sorry. Yes. He says that untouchables are not Hindus and shall be considered as Adi Tamilars. And even they were called as the Adi Hindus. And in AP and Telangana, you are having Adi Hindu movements as a part and parcel of our syllabus. And we have discussed a prominent person who is considered to be the beacon of these people. What is his name? Who is considered as a very popular personality. Yes, that is Bhagirathi Verma, whose actual name is Madari Bhagaya, and who is the founder of Jagan Mitra Mandali, and also many things which we have discussed. It is there in the syllabus of both AP and Telangana. Okay? Yes. Then the Renaissance of Buddhism, he established the Sakya Buddhist Society in Madras in 1898, because it may appear in your UPSC prelims. Who is the founder of Sakya Buddhist Society in Madras? In 1898, with the branches all over South India, which is also known as Indian Buddhist Association. And he launched Dravida Pandian magazine in 1885 along with John Rathianam. And in 1907, he launched Oru Paisa Tamism. Of course, I may be spelling in a wrong manner. Of course, very sorry. Empowered depressed classes. He succeeded in getting thousands of acres of lands and distributed among the landless poor under the scheme of Panchami lands. Okay? Yes. Then the Siddha Institute of Studies, National Siddha Institute at Tambaram, Chennai was established in 2005 and named after the anti-caste Buddhist leader. And Jyotidas Panditar is also known as the father of social reforms in South India. Remember, father of social reforms in South India, and also described as Dravida Peroli, and who is called as Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar of South India. Who is called as Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar of South India? Excellent. Not Tanguturi. Kandukuri Vireshalingam Pantulu. You are getting confused because of continuous postponement of this examination. By tomorrow evening, there will be clarity. Who will form the government in Telangana? Yes. Yes. Nice. So you people are getting confused between Tangaturi and Kandakuri. Okay? Because of lack of revision, and there is no clarity when you will have the group 2 of TSPSC, group 1 of TSPSC, and even APPSC has not yet released group 2 notification. Every month saying by the end of this month, and months are going, even year also ending within 20 days or 25 days, but notification is not out. Now, next is Jal Itihas Utsav. Jal Itihas Utsav. Ministry of Jal Itihas Ministry of Jal Shakti to organize Jal Itihas Utsav at Shamshi Talab, Jahaj Mahal in Mehroli. Yes. This is important for UPSC prelims. Jahaj Mahal. You know what is Jahaj? Jahaj means ship. Jahaj Mahal. Okay, and it is a construction by the Ibrahim Lodi, if I am not wrong. Of course, we will go to the Wikipedia. Don't worry. Jahaj Mahal in Mehroli, and even this Mahal is also associated with a great ceremony, and which is a symbol of Hindu-Muslim unity. Yes, excellent, excellent. Fulonki's hair, excellent. And Fulonki's hair was started in the period of Fulanki's hair was started in the period of yes, excellent. Akbar too. Akbar too. Yes. Just a minute. We will go to Jahaj Mahal. Jahaj Mahal. Don't get confused. Jahaj Mahal at Mandu is also there. Jahaj Mahal in Urdu language, Jahaj means ship and Mahal means palace. The ship palace is located next to Haj Shamsi in Mehroli, Delhi on the northeastern corner. It was so named since its reflection, illusion in the surrounding reservoir looked like a ship floating on a lake. It is inferred to have been built during the Lodi dynasty period as a pleasure resort, sarai or inn. Sarai means which used to host the travelers. Sarai. Okay? History. One reason for building the Jahaj Mahal retreat was to provide transit accommodation as a sarai or inn to the large number of pilgrims from Afghanistan, Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Morocco, and Turkey who came to Delhi to visit the many Muslim shrines. Yes. By that time, Sufism was already existing, and you were having the tombs of many Sufi saints. Like take the example of Ajmer, you are having Khaja Moinuddin Chishti's tomb. Okay? Yes. And don't get confused with the Dargah and mosque. Mosque is a prayer place. Dargah, where a popular saint's tomb is located, that is called as Dargah. Yes. Another version is that it was built as a retreat for the Emperor Akbar Shah II and Bahadur Shah II and their families during the summer months away from the heat and dust of Delhi. Its construction is dated between 1451 and 1526, before Babur's invasion and the beginning of the Mughal rule. Okay? Yes. So remember this. They may ask about this in your UPSC. Yes. And December 1st, each year, World AIDS Day is observed. Okay? Yesterday, our students were discussing that. The theme for World AIDS Day 2023 is let communities lead. Yes, let communities lead. They may ask this slogan. Okay. Now, when you come to India, Nagaland tops the list of states with the highest prevalence, 1.61% of AIDS. At 0.09, Karnataka HIV prevalence rate is higher than the national average of 0.22%. So, national average of HIV is 0.22%. Okay. Now, transplant games. What is this? What is this transplant games? So it is the games for organ donors and organ receivers to create awareness among the people that giving or taking organs will not impact you adversely. But it may be not in all the cases. Of course, I am not a doctor to have a debate on that. Yes, transplant games. For the first time, Kerala is organizing transplant games, a competitive sporting event for other transplant recipients and organ transplant recipients and donors, takers and givers. It is to showcase the success of organ transplantation in improving the quality of life and spread the message of organ donation to encourage other people in such line, such that one person organ may give life to other. The World Transplant Games Federation is a non-profit organization based in the United Kingdom with representatives from more than 70 countries. Okay. Now, fast track special courts. Now their period have been extended further to 2026. The aim of fast track special courts is to see that the victim will get justice at a faster rate. And even the criminal will not be in apprehension that in India the judiciary is too delay until his death. Until the death of criminal, the verdict is not given in some cases. In some cases, the criminal will die, but justice will not come. It is not because of judiciary, because of lot of problems like police not giving the FIR or many things, even which we have discussed in our mains class. Reasons for higher number of under trial prisoners in the Indian prisons, who are more than two-third. And I told you what is meant by under trial prisoners. Yes. So especially these courts were established to deal with the rapes, and also you are having the POCSO. Yes. Okay. Yes. The Union Cabinet has approved the continuation of fast-track special courts. They have to give the justice within 1 year. Within 1 year. In few cases, they were successful, but not in all the cases. In Warangal or in some other area, within 8 months, the person got conviction. They have given the life sentence, 8 months or 7 months. Okay? The police provided the evidence to the court in a fair manner. Okay? It is a dedicated court to strengthen the deterrence framework for sexual offenders and to ensure the swift disposal of cases related to rape and POCSO. Rape and POCSO Acts. So remember these two. Of course, for other also you are having the courts like family courts, etc. But fast track courts are only for this purpose. Launched in 2019, mandate exclusively handle pending cases of rape and POCSO. And you have to remember the ministry, Department of Justice Ministry of Law and Justice, which has an online monitoring framework for monthly monitoring of case statistics. So remember this, fast track courts are established in 2019 to deal with the rape and the POXO cases, such that the victim will get the justice and the criminal will be, given the conviction. And you know, what is climate engineering? Climate engineering is nothing but to see that the climate will be impacted at a lesser rate. Now, now you are having the emission of CO2 from vehicles, from industries, etc. Climate engineering deals with the thing that you have to see that the percentage of CO2 in the atmosphere will reduce. That is a climate engineering. Okay. The UNESCO report has stressed for mandatory participation of the vulnerable, neglected, and marginalized individuals in policy decisions related to climate engineering. It is an intentional large-scale intervention in the Earth's climate system to counter climate change. It is also known as geoengineering. It involves many techniques like carbon dioxide removal. It removes and stores the emitted carbon dioxide. We have discussed even wetlands will also absorb the carbon dioxide. Ocean will also absorb the carbon dioxide. Forest will also absorb the carbon dioxide. If you increase the forest cover, automatically CO2 percentage will decrease. Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, it includes direct air capture, land use management, that is afforestation. What is afforestation? Planting of trees and sequestrating carbon dioxide into the soil or into the water. Increasing the uptake of CO2 by the ocean by adding chemicals, or they may be having their own system. Enhancing natural weathering process that removes CO2 from the atmosphere. According to a report in the journal Nature, so far new CDR technologies have removed carbon dioxide removal. CDR means removed only about 0.1% of carbon, that is around 2.3 million tons per year. And you have to encourage the wetland conservation, etc. Now, what is solar radiation modification? Solar radiation modification, even we have discussed in the last classes with regard to a issue of green buildings. Green buildings. Telangana is the first state to make a law in that line. We have discussed in the earlier classes. So see here what happened. You are having a concept called as albedo. Albedo. In the World Geographic Climatology classes, we have discussed about the albedo. What is albedo? Albedo is nothing but the reflection capacity of a surface. So if you reflect the sunlight, automatically temperature will decrease. So many techniques are used to see that solar radiation is sent back. Even they will mix some aerosols in the atmosphere such that they will reflect the solar radiation. Automatically the earth temperature will decrease. Solar radiation modification, SRM, it reflects sunlight back to space to reduce the amount reaching the earth's surface, and is also known as solar engineering. Techniques: painting structures with reflective planes. And even in the summer season, you can see, you will get a coating. In the TV also, you will get the ad saying that Surya Chem, if I am not wrong, if you coat that on your rooftop, definitely it will reduce the temperature inside by 3 to 4 degrees. Yes. Yes. Now, planting crops with high reflectivity. There are plants which will also reflect the solar insolation. Enhancing the reflectivity of marine clouds formed above the oceans, and injecting aerosols into the lower stratosphere to mimic the cooling induced by volcanic eruptions. Of course, some chemicals they may add, like we have discussed. The Delhi government is wanted to create the artificial rains by pumping silver iodide into the atmosphere. So they will add some chemicals. Placing reflectors or shield in space. removing infrared absorbing clouds from the atmosphere to reduce trapped heat. So they may use some chemical to disperse that clouds. Of course, it is an expensive thing, but still, in sometime we have to do that. Like Delhi government is, resorting for creating artificial rains to minimize the pollution. Yes. Now climate engineering ideas. So cloud seeding we have discussed. So they will add the silver iodide such that it will give rain. And see here how to reflect the solar installation and even the mechanism in the oceans to remove the excess CO2 and afforestation, that is planting of trees and injecting aerosol into the stratosphere. You know, ionosphere, stratosphere and troposphere. Of course, in the stratosphere, you will not have much clouds. Only you will have the cirrus clouds in the stratosphere. Yes. And even here you can see directly they are capturing the CO2 and they are sending it to the ocean for the storage. So this is excellent. Now, why Mullaperiyar Dam is in the news? Mullaperiyar Dam. What type of dam is constructed on the, yes, cool roof policy? Excellent, Pujasri. Telangana government made that cool roof policy. Excellent. Yes. Now, Mullaperiyar Dam. Why this Mullaperiyar Dam is in the news? Simply. Of course, actually, who will manage this Mullaperiyar Dam? Who will manage this Mullaperiyar Dam? Kerala will manage or Tamil Nadu will manage? No idea. Kerala. It is in Kerala, but managed by Tamil Nadu. Managed by Tamil Nadu. And what type of dam is considered on Periyar? What type of dam? We have managed by Tamil Nadu. Excellent, excellent. We have discussed in our Indian geography multipurpose project topic. Periyar. Periyar. It is a masonry dam. It is a masonry dam. Okay. Now, the Supreme Court recently directed the Survey of India to examine whether a mega car park considered by Kerala at Mullaperiyar Dam is encroaching property covered under the Periyar Lake Lease Agreement. Periyar Lake Lease Agreement. Now I told you Tamil Nadu will manage. It is a masonry gravity dam in Idukki district of Kerala, where the Periyar and Mullaperiyar meet. Okay? Construction. The dam was constructed during 1887-1895 across Periyar River in the then Travancore state, now Kerala. Although the dam is located in Kerala, it is operated by Tamil Nadu following an 1886 lease indenture for almost all 999 years. How many generations? Okay? Yes. So now the Periyar Dam with full reservoir level of 1 to 2 feet provides for diversion of water from this reservoir to Vaiga River. It is one issue. Now here you are having a concept called as rule curve. According to Tamil Nadu Water Resource Organization, Mullaperiyar is the first reservoir to have the rule curve implemented in India. Now what is meant by rule curve as far as a hydrological structure is concerned? Rule curve means maintaining the water level in the reservoir based on the season. Based on the season. Yes, that is a rule curve. You are having various concepts like dead storage, full water level, etc. So it is the first dam to follow the rule curve. So that point you try to remember. It is the first reservoir to have rule curve implemented in India. Rule curve is a tabulation that specifies quantum of storage of water or empty space to be maintained in a reservoir during different times of a year based on the rainfall data for 35 years. Yes. Okay. Now, The dam is located in the seismic zone 3 area, moderate damage risk zone. Issue, there lies a bone of contention between Tamil Nadu and Kerala regarding the safety of dam, and of course that is a common thing. If a water is shared by two states, definitely you will have the issue. Like day before yesterday, issue between the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh with regard to the usage of Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. There was a huge scuffle. Okay, yes. Now, see, rat hole mining is in news because these people were the pioneers in rat hole mining were able to rescue the people who were trapped under the tunnel. Okay, and I told you rat hole mining is a mining in which they will drill a small hole. Only one person will be able to go inside and collect the resource, that is the mineral. And as it is dangerous, it was banned by the National Green Tribunal. But Supreme Court has stayed the order of NGT, especially as far as Meghalaya is concerned. And with by using scientific methods, now they can go for mining in the Meghalaya. But it is dangerous. Rat hole mining is not good. Rat hole mining is being done to rescue the workers in collapsed Silk Yara Barcode tunnel in Uttarakhand. Rat hole, it refers to the narrow pits dug into the ground, typically just large enough for one person to descend using ropes or bamboo ladders to reach the coal seams or any other. It is very tough to even breathe also. Rat hole mining, it is a method of extracting coal from narrow horizontal seams, typically around 3 to 4 feet depth. They are prevalent in Meghalaya due to challenging terrain and the coal seam. Of course, issues, they lack safety measures, and NGT has banned, the National Green Tribunal has banned rat hole mining in 2014, citing concerns about its unscientific nature, etc. However, in 2019, the Supreme Court set aside the NGT ban and allowed coal mining in Meghalaya through scientific mining methods. Okay? Yes. Now, Sacred River Festival, it is celebrated at Ahalya Fort. And Ahalya Bai, and she belonged to the Holkar division of the Marathas. You are having Holkars, Sindhyas, Gaikwads, and Bhosles. And internal struggles between these four groups resulted in the fall of Maratha Empire. Of course, especially, who is the last Peshwa? Who is the last Peshwa? Who is the last Peshwa? Yes, Micah also, excellent. Who is the last Peshwa? Who is the last Peshwa? Online students, who is the last Peshwa? What happened? Yes. Bajirao too. Offline students were able to answer. And yes, Bajirao is the last Peshwa, and he will conclude subsidiary alliance with the English East India Company with the treaty named Treaty of Bazaine. Okay? Yes. Now, Ahilya Fort is to present the 20th Sacred River Festival in February 2024 after a 3-year gap due to COVID pandemic. It is a 4-day festival celebrated annually since 2010. Since 2010, a conference of art and history. It was conceived by Richard Holkar of Holkar dynasty to represent the family's refined cultural sensibilities. Ahilyabai Fort in Maheshwar, Madhya Pradesh. And it is a history of, actually, though these people belong to the Maratha region, they had their sway of political power in the MP also, that is Madhya Pradesh. Okay? Yes. Now, here you are having a few terms related to Sikhism. Udasis. It is a religious ascetic sect, Sampradaya, which consider itself as denomination of Sikhism. Yes. and focuses on the teachings of its founder, Sri Chand. Remember, the founder of Udasi's sect of Sikhism is Sri Chand. Such kind of questions will appear in the UPSC prelims. Son of Guru Nanak. You know, Guru Nanak is the founder of the Sikhism. And Guru Nanak is succeeded by Guru Angad. Guru Angad. Yes, Angad means my body. Yes. Nagar Kirtan. Sikhs celebrate Guru Nanak Jayanti with a procession called Nagar Kirtan. It is a terminology. Janam Sakhis. Biographies of Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism. Remember, Janam Sakhis. Now, Kaaba. It is a cube-shaped structure in Mecca that is considered holy. Kaaba. Okay? It is right. Now, Langar, you know, it is a community dining in the Sikhism, which we find at the Gurudwara. It is a place where people contribute their labor and help the needy through acts such as cooking food for them at the Gurudwaras. Angad, Guru Angad means Angad, meaning my own limb. Guru Nanak Dev said that Lehna, one of his disciples, you know what is the actual name of Guru Angad? Bhai Lehna. We have discussed Bhai Lehna. Lehna, one of his disciples, as Angad instead of his own son, who is not inclined towards spirituality. And Nitma, word, Dan, charity, Isnin, ablution, Sivi, service, Simran, prayer. So these are the terminologies of the Sikhism. Yeah. So periodic labor force survey, and we have discussed National Sampling Survey Organization. Earlier used to calculate the unemployment rate, and even periodic labor force will also involve in the same work. And you know, we have discussed NSSO is now merged with the CSO, and now to form the National Statistical Office. I think we have discussed last class only. Yes. The Periodic Labor Force Survey quarterly bulletin for July-September 2023 highlights key employment indicators in urban areas. Unemployment rate, yes, decreased to 6.6% for individuals aged 15 years and above, because people below 15 years are not counted for employment because their employment in any form is banned by the Supreme Court. You cannot engage them in any form. And labor force participation rate increased to 49.3%, indicating a growing percentage of people in the labor force. You have to remember, what is labor force? Labor force. Total labor force is the people employed plus the people who are interested to get employed, but they are not getting the job. This total is called as the labor force. Remember, the people who are employed and the other people who are fit to work and interested to do job, but they are not getting job. They are added, not the people who are not interested to work. They are not added in this. Now, labor force participation rate increased to 49.3%, indicating a growing percentage of people in the labor force. Now coming to worker population ratio, here worker and total population. Worker and total population. Population includes everybody. Grew to 46%, reflecting a rise in the percentage of employed persons in the population. Means it indirectly suggests the demographic dividend. What is demographic dividend? Working age population. Okay? Yes. Now, the Periodic Labor Force Survey, launched in April 2017, is a survey conducted by the NSSO under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation in India. Estimate key employment and unemployment indicators work population ratio, labor force participation rate, unemployment rate in a 3-month interval. For urban areas under current weekly status means they will consider 1 week as a criteria, only 1 week, and estimate employment and unemployment indicators in both usual status and current weekly status annually for both rural and urban areas. Usual status means 1 year. In usual status, the reference period is 1 year. In 1 year, for how many days the person is engaged. And weekly status, they will consider 7 days. Even you are also having the daily status also. Now, labor force participation rate, just now I told you, percentage of the working age population, age years and above, that is either employed or unemployed, but willing and looking for employment. See here, working plus the people who are interested to work, that is important. Okay? Yes, don't get confused with the two terms. Yes. Now, why Shettihalli Wildlife Sanctuary is in the news? It is in Karnataka. Okay, see, you are having a concept called as the eco-sensitive zone. Eco-sensitive zone around a biosphere reserve or sanctuary. Up to which distance it is declared as the eco-sensitive zone, and it has to be done so by the state governments. And eco-sensitive zone in the, what is the distance of this eco-sensitive zone? No idea. Yeah, 10 kilometers. So, see, suppose this is a sanctuary. Beyond the 10 kilometers, many activities are not allowed, including the industries, etc., etc. Why? Indirectly, it will hurt the species in that forest. 10 kilometers, not 1 kilometer. Okay, 10 kilometers. To minimize the animal-man conflict, because they don't know, animals don't know that their boundary is here. They are not having GPS or something like that one. If they come here also, they should not be harmed. So things are controlled in the eco-sensitive zone. Controlled. Okay? Not banned, few are banned. Yeah. The National Green Tribunal has given the state government a 6 months deadline to address issues causing the delay in notifying the eco-sensitive zone status for Shettihalli Wildlife Sanctuary in Shivamogga, Karnataka. The delay in determining ESZ has resulted in increased land use changes and encroachments. Increased land use changes and encroachments. Yes. Shettihalli Wildlife Sanctuary is in Karnataka, Shivamogga district, spanning 395 square kilometer and was declared in 1974. It includes, of course, many other bird sanctuaries. Now, remember, what is eco-sensitive zone? Eco-sensitive zones have been met with the resistance from protests. See, whenever the state government is declaring a region as eco-sensitive zone, the people are protesting, saying that you are hitting our stomach. We are losing our livelihood. Because all the operations of these people are controlled. Even tribals are losing their constitutional rights because they are termed as the sons of the forest. Recently, eco-sensitive zones have been met with resistance from protests, claiming that compliance with the Environmental Protection Act 1986 and Wildlife Protection Act 1972 has led authorities to disregard the rights of forest communities and negatively affect their way of life, because they will totally, their livelihood is dependent on the forests. What is eco-sensitive zone? This is very important. The National Wildlife Action Plan 2016 of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change stipulated that state government should declare, not central, state government should declare land falling within 10 kilometers of the boundaries of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, not other, specifically national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. It was a question asked in 2012, UPSC prelims, in statements. as eco-fragile zones. Fragile means we have to handle in a fair manner. Okay? Yes. Or eco-sensitive zones under the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Remember all this. While the 10 kilometer is implemented as a general principle, even its extension may also increase. 10 kilometers is general principle. The extent of its application can vary. Areas beyond 10 kilometers can also be notified by the union government as EZZs. Beyond 10 kilometers, by the union government. Up to 10 kilometers, state government. If they hold larger ecologically important activities around ESZ, yes, prohibited activities, the activities which will cause harm to the flora and fauna of this zone are prohibited. Commercial mining, sawmills. What is meant by sawmill? Where timber is processed, that is called as the sawmill. Industries causing pollution, different types of pollution. Establishment of major hydroelectric project, commercial use of food, these are prohibited. And regulated activities, felling of trees, yes. The trees which are notified for felling, they should be fell down. Regulated activities, establishment of hotel and resorts, commercial use of national water, erection of electrical cables, etc., etc., widening of roads, etc., they are regulated. What is the meaning of regulated? We have to take the permission of the government to involve in that activity. Permitted activities, ongoing agriculture or horticulture practice, rainwater harvesting, organic farming, etc., etc., green technology, windmills, etc., they can be carried on. What is the aim? What is the aim of this ESZ? To save the animals which will cross their territory, to minimize the nature and man conflict, minimize the impact of developmental activities, to minimize the impact of urbanization. And this will encourage and help the in situ conservation, like we are having the Kaziranga National Park, where single horned rhinoceros are preserved. And even you are having two cross, if I am wrong, if I am not wrong. The population of tiger doubles. What is it? Yes. Because of such activities, I mean, the population has increased. In situ conservation, ESZs help in situ conservation, which deals with conservation of an endangered species in its natural habitat. For example, the conservation of one-horned rhino of Kaziranga National Park. So there itself, that is the in situ. Ex situ, getting them to the zoo, that is called as ex situ. Minimize forest depletion and man-animal conflict. Minimize the negative impact of the fragile ecosystem because they will act as a shock absorbers. Okay? But the problem is these tribal people are opposing that. Okay? These are all about the today's current affairs. Thank you. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Yes, T Cross 2 award. Excellent, Pujasri and Bhagavati. T Cross 2. T Cross 2. Yes, thank you.